Welcome, friends, it is I, your LostScarf, and it's time for the patch notes. And we're going to cover the League new UI. As you can see right here, it's prettier here. You can see people trending if they're going up in points or down in points, like so. We're going to talk about Siege Mode, talk about the one general change, the healing reduction, Ah Muzen Cab's new skin, Nemesis' new voice pack, and the nerfs to Bastet and the buff to Osiris. But first up is the League. You can see here, new UI, looks pretty here. So we're in Season 2 now. And as far as I know, this is the top ranked person right now. Ray, with 95 wins, 37 losses. Pretty good on them. Like, the next one is only in... Somebody's in, like Platinum 3. Yeah, there's this person. So you can see people are very sporadic in where they are right now because everyone's trying to level up to the next areas. There's some gold ones here. The biggest number I see is the gold 3 right here. Good job to all these people having the time to play so many damn games and do so well. And me, we're not going to see me at a bronze 5 in like a month or two because I'm stuck with either people who are really bad at the game or trolls, and I don't have the time to grind out of it. So right now I have lost every single match. Boo-hoo for me, huh? Okay, so let's see here. The new god skin for Ah Muzen Cab, the Dark Whisper, and there he is. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. And Squidward rises from the ocean! No! There's Squidward. Okay, so there we go. Cthulhu, the Dark Whisperer, there he is. And he's not as pudgy as people would have liked, and people wanted a full-on Cthulhu god, but that was never going to happen. But it's still a pretty cool looking skin, so let's take a closer look at it. So there we go. He's got his winglings there. He's not as pudgy like I said. His back also looks pretty cool there. He's not moving around so much. So there's his back. That looks really cool right there. Just a nice looking Cthulhu right there. Instead of hives, he summons Shoggoths. And instead, like orange with his abilities, they're more darker black or purplish and stuff like that, more metallic kind of looking. But it's mostly the same thing, but just darker looking. It just looks really cool. And also he has a new voice pack for it.
Enemies incoming!
Sounds pretty cool.
I'll attack! Wait! Enemies incoming! I'll attack!
I'm in the belief it's just Geb. It's just Geb again.
Behind us! On my way!
You do hear a shade of Ymir in there, though.
Out of mana! Gank!
Out of mana. Now, besides that, of course, is Nemesis' new voice pack for the Ninja Nemesis. And this is probably the most racist thing I've heard outside of Zhang Kui. And I think I don't know if they're tied. Actually, I think she's worse, but here it is.
Quiet. Gaku middle lane. Out of mana. Retreat left lane. Behind us. I'm on it. Cancel that. Enemies incoming middle. Attack left lane.
Now, there's two ways this happened. Either they hired a Japanese lady to speak in English, which probably didn't happen, or they had a voice actress who could do a really good English accent. And just applause to them if it was the second one, so... Dear God, is this a horrible voice pack. In a good way, like,
You're welcome. Going into the jungle.
It's hilariously awful. Not just because, oh my God, is this racist?
I'll gank. I'll defend middle lane.
That's just hilarious. Okay, so there we go. Now, another thing you'll see is in the corners, you got red and blue. Blue, of course, for magical, red for physical. So it's a good way for new players to see what's physical, what's magical offhand without having to really think about it. So that's nice there. Talk about Siege Mode now. Here we go. So Siege Mode, they made some changes here. Let's see here. You can no longer kite siege towers into the jungle, which was dumb anyway, so I'm glad that's gone. They still haven't added music, which is lame. At least put some placeholder music in there. This mode is extremely boring because of the music. Like, you don't get pumped up from it. Just from gameplay you get good, but the lack of music really brings the mode down a little bit for me, and I really hope they bring music into it already, or just put a placeholder for crap's sakes! Besides that, they lengthened cooldown times. Not cooldown. They lengthened respawn times in this mode. And I disagree with that, because the game's already snowballing as it is. Doing that just makes it take longer. It's going to be more punishing if you make any mistakes, and people are just going to be out of it sooner. And that's... Nah, I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like it should be more action-oriented than that, but it isn't, so, there you go. Another general change is healing reduction items and abilities didn't stack, now they do. I thought they did stack, but now they do. And there's only so few abilities that did that. Sickening Strike from Sobek, Osiris' ultimate, and one or two other ones reduced healing. So it's good that they've made that correction, because they should stack, for crap's sakes. Now, Bastet got nerfed. And if anyone says recipes Bastet, I hate you because you are not smart, buddy. Here's what happened here. Her pounce got changed. For the 4 seconds after her pounce, it used to be, in those 4 seconds, you could jump back. You would break any CC on you and jump back. That's changed. Now, you're only CC immune for 1 second after jumping, and then the other 3 seconds you are not. And if you get crowd controlled, you can't jump back. You can't jump back. I would assume slows don't affect you, roots don't affect you. I would assume I would assume soft CC doesn't do it, but hard CC does. That's what I'm assuming here. I could be wrong about that, but I'm assuming hard CC stops you, soft CC does not. Because if slow prevents your pounce, that's dumb to me. But that's what they did there. So you still can hit and run. You jump in for 1 second, burst everything out, jump the hell out. And that's fine. That's still there. That's still fine. You just don't have as much forgiveness if you stick around longer than that and get caught. It used to be you could stick around, of course, get caught, and then you just jump away and you're safe. Now it is you're safe for 1 second. The other 3 seconds, not so much. And that's fine. You shouldn't stick around too long if you shouldn't have. Honestly, like that. So that's good there. Now if you jump in, you get Ymir to blow his stun early, then you can just beat the crap out of him and just stick around and just beat him down and kill him or whatever. But this is just a way to make it less, just less easy for her, which is fine. But Set's had this ability for a year, and I'm fine with this nerf. That's perfectly fine. They've also nerfed her Razor Whip a little bit. They increased the casting time, which makes her burst a little bit less because of that. But also they took away 5 points across the board, which weakens her early game a little bit, her mid game a little bit, her late not so much. So her early clear is going to be a little bit weaker, her early game's going to be a little bit weaker, but only by a few points. You should still be able to get kills, enemies if they survive by those 15 damage, and holy crap. But still, it just weakens you a little bit on your clear. That's really what it does, more so than anything. And your gank if they barely die from a sliver and such like, or live by a sliver there. Now, Osiris has been buffed, and exactly where I wanted him to be buffed. I said he was too squishy. He went from 410 HP to 475 HP, so he's less squishy at the base, and that's good there. I also said his ultimate was too damn wonky and unreliable, and now they made it that he has CC immunity, as it should have from the beginning! Praise the Lord! There is now CC immunity on this thing. It was really dumb. When you're about to land, you get stunned midair. It was the dumbest thing. I'm glad they fixed that. Another thing, though, is I wanted them to make the area bigger. As you can see, it's only area 15. They didn't do that. Instead, they made it anything you hit in that little area, they all get hurt, instead of just the lowest god, which I agree with. That is fine. It's such a hard thing to land. Hitting more than one god with that is pretty hard to do. If you can, you should be rewarded with hitting more than one god. That's really good there. So I agree with these buffs. I don't think he needed nerfs. I think he needed buffs. I argue with people about this, and in the end, I win. Nah. So we'll see how it goes here. I think this makes him better. Does it make him over the top? Hell no, it doesn't. No, he's still got okay. He's got okay damage. He's got okay sustain. He has no sustain. He has okay defense. He will still be a threat, but a little bit more of one now, but less of one that people thought he would be. He's not as scary as people thought he'd be. He's still good, but not as good. And I believe that is everything to cover for the patch notes. I know it's short. Next week will either be a new god or more skins or something like that. It looks like they're trying to bring out something big every week, so I'm thinking there's going to be either another skin next week or another god next week. We will see. But for now, that is the patch. Important last minute news, everybody! The client, earlier in the day when it first came out, instead of showing Dark Whisperer Cthulhu Ah Muzen Cab skin, they showed Robo-Geb. It's basically a transformer version of Geb, and because they accidentally showed that and had the hotfix out and put Dark Whisperer back in there, people saw it, and now the cat's out of the bag as they're putting it. So there's a tweet going on by Smite Game, and that is, at 3K retweets, that's 3,000 retweets, they will show his in-game card. At 5,000, they'll show him in-game, and at 8,000, they will let people buy the skin. If you're a fan of Geb, or if you want to see this skin, then you got to go to Twitter and retweet this thing right now as soon as possible, so that people can enjoy the skin as soon as possible, such and such. So, there you go. Go to Twitter, everybody. Make a damn account. Just do whatever. I want to see the skin. So, get going, everybody, please. See you next time.